What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing our slab cylindrical rollout, so let's begin. So for this technique, we're going to need obviously some clay, a 45-90 degree cutter, some newspaper, and a cylinder that we're going to need to wrap this around when it's all done.
Step 1. Grab your clay and start rolling it out. Make it a little bit thinner than the slab roller, but not too thin, otherwise it'll fall apart. Once you rolled your clay into a desired length, you're going to want to cut it into an actual slab, but you make sure that it is long enough to cover the cylinder. But after that, just cut the desired shape using a ruler, and then just cut away. Reminder, remove all the excess clay. Meanwhile, grab your cylinder and start wrapping it around with newspaper. If you don't, your clay will get stuck to the cylinder and it'll just rip apart. Using the 45-degree cutter, cut one side of your slab and then flip it over, cut the other side. Therefore, when they encircle each other, they can make a connection. With step 5, you're going to want to roll them onto the actual cylinder. And once you did that, you're going to actually want to start molding them and put them on the seam and lay them on top of the seam. That way they could form that kind of bond for at least 10 minutes. Once that happens, flip it over and then continue to mold it, that way it can get smooth. Now in the video I know I didn't do this, but this is for time purposes. After everything's all peachy and smoothed out, you're just going to want to keep rolling it out until it's basically dry. Then from there I would move on to the next step. This time when you roll out the clay, this is going to be for the base, so you don't have to use the shape automatically 100%. However, you're obviously going to have to roll it out, then you're going to have to cut it. Then from there, once you cut it, you move on to the next step. From there, you're going to want to slip and score the cylinder to the base, obviously creating the lantern. After that, smooth out the bottom so they form more of a bond. Then continue to remove the cylinder. Therefore, the clay is still in its cylindrical shape. And then from there, just smooth out and make those two objects one. This process may be tedious, but make sure you smooth out on the inside and the outside just as equally. Therefore, they hold a strong bond. And also make sure you smooth it out as well as press on it. Therefore, there is no air bubbles to form. When finished with that, you're going to want to cut around the excess and then still leave some form of thing just in case you forgot to slip. But nonetheless, always keep cutting around, therefore you keep your cylindrical shape with a nice base. If it doesn't look right, keep working it until it does, and eventually it will look right, and then you could start your incisions to start making your lantern. I'm Jonathan Dela Cruz, and thank you for your time.